Star there at 250, Beauty Bell 23, Dakara 12, My Sweet Pamela 750. Over the page we go to Ras Brightia, $41, Margarine $10, Grammy Award 37, Fantasia Miss 30, Emotional Success 34, Min Min Lights 86, and if you've backed Seda, number 15, where you're going to be in for a big day if it happens to surprise everyone and salute here in race 7, the Great Western. Time to find out what's going on in the betting ring. Here he is, Big Tim Gossage.
Well, it's all the interest on the Melbourne Cup, even though we do have a race to go, Peter. Let's go through the updated each-way market with leading bookmaker Michael Iskander. Let's go to the top, and Doremus 16 to 1. Still the favourite is number 2, Faithful Son, but an easy favourite at 5 to 1. 11 to 1, Persian Punch. 15's Torfin's Melody. One of the despised outsiders is Count Shivers. Then Gold Guru. 11 to 1 each way, Tie the Knot. 25 to 1, the stablemate of Might and Power, Yippee-I-Yo. 40 to 1, Markham. 12 to 1, Darazari. 16, Sheer Danzig. 8 to 1, well thought of, Aero Smith. 66 is 3 Crowns. 80's Joss Sticks. The outsider is Peak of Perfection, 150s. 20 to 1, The Hind. 14, Skybow. Bit of money for that one. 25's Yorkshire. 40, Second Coming. Ancient City, 66s. This is where the action is. 21, Champagne is 11 to 1. Jezebel, 8 to 1. Perpetual Check, 16s. And the bottom one, Arena at 9 to 1. Let's join Michael Iskander. Michael, what's the best back today?
Jezebel without a doubt, and then Champagne, and then we go to Arena. They're the only 3 they want in the market.
And the worst result for you personally?
Would have to be Jezebel and then Torfin's Melody.
Good on you. So just repeating, the big news is that Jezebel has been the best back Melbourne Cup runner.
And it has been the case all day. Tim Gossage with Michael Iskander in the betting ring. Interesting to see. Aero Smith was only round about the 8 to 1, but there's been good money for a lot of them. And Jen, it's always a huge betting race, and they reckon they're going to unload again this year.
Well, it shows you how open it is too, doesn't it? Because there's a lot of big prices there, so if you fancy one, you're going to get good value.
It's drawing ever closer, but we've still got one to go, Sandra, the one before the Melbourne Cup, as it is every year, the Great Western Race 7, and it is due to commence at 2:25. We'll see you shortly before then.
All right, look forward to it. Thank you, Peter. A couple more, I should say. Neighbour stars have dropped in to say good day. Welcome. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Kim Valentine, your character in Neighbours is?
It's Libby Kennedy.
Yes, now, very interesting times for you at the moment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just entered into a new relationship. So that's all very exciting. We'll see how that goes.
What about you, Jacinta?
On air at the moment, I can't reveal anything, of course. So on air at the moment, I'm just doing this big breakup, and it's all very dramatic and all that, so it's great.
Now, Jacinta, this is your first cup, but Kim, this is your 4th. How are you finding it on your 4th time round? Are you a little bit more seasoned?
It's hotter than it ever has been before, I think.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's good. Very sweaty, though.
All right, what about your Melbourne Cup tips?
I don't really know that much about the Melbourne Cup, so I think I'm just going to bet on my lucky number, which is 6. And that's Golden Guru, and that sounds just fine to me.
That's as good a reason as any. What about yourself, Kim?
Tie the Knot, Gay Waterhouse, Shane, Die. That's very good.
Kim Valentine, Jacinta Stapleton, thanks for joining us today. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and of course, happy punting. We hope you're back a winner.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That's all from me from the 10 marquee for the moment. Let's hand over now the reins to the wonderful Tim Webster, who will look after you for the afternoon. Good afternoon, Tim.
Afternoon to you, Sandra. By the way, will you get Thorpe's autograph for me? He is one of my absolute heroes.
You and me both. There's a lineup, I've got to tell you.
Yeah, one of the greats of the 60s is Billy Thorpe. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the studio. Let me tell you, after being out there for a couple of hours, the atmosphere is absolutely charged at Flemington today. What an interesting race the Melbourne Cup is going to be. It's about an hour and a half away, a little bit less. Next to me is a lady who has a very important task to sing the national anthem, Chelsea Gibb. Hi.
Hi.
You nervous?
Yes, a little. Yeah, I am.
What if I told you there's 500 million people watching from right around the world?
I try not to listen.
And how's the voice? I understand it had a little problem.
I had a little dose of the chicken pox about a week ago in my throat, but fine today.
Everything happening?
Yep.
Now, Chelsea, everybody's also appearing in Chicago, your first pro job.
Yeah, that's right.
How's it going?
Fantastic. We're at great houses, and we're only here for another 7 weeks, so get in, and then we're off to Adelaide.
Tell us briefly what it's about for those who don't know, right around Australia.
Well, I play a housewife who's unsatisfied with her husband, so she starts fooling around, and the lover that she's with leaves her, so she shoots him.
Oh.
And then tries to get away with murder by manipulating the media.
That sounds terribly cheerful, Chelsea.
Yeah, no, it's very funny. It's actually very humorous and very sexy.
All right, look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
And look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
All the best with the anthem. There's some luminaries that have sung the anthem in the past, so you're joining a long list.
I know.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Chelsea Gibb joining us. She will sing the anthem prior to the Melbourne Cup. of 1998. Well, now, Shane Dye. We've mentioned Shane Dye a lot. The punters used to hate Shane. He won the Melbourne Cup in 1989 on Tourific, and they used to give him such a hard time in Melbourne. But nowadays, the cheers outnumber the jeers.
If Shane Dye was an actor in a B-grade western, he'd be the one in the black hat. Come to think of it, the jock they call Billy Idol or Mr. Arrogance really is a bit of an actor. Dye loves to play the villain, and he loves to act to the crowd. The other thing he loves is winning. And that's something he does best of all, because for all his show and fast talking, there's no one the punters would rather have riding for them in a big race. His list of big race victories is impressive. 13 Group 1 races last season, and before that, 4 Golden Slippers, a Cox Plate on Octagonal, and the big one, the Melbourne Cup, back in 1989 on Tourific. He'll always have his share of critics, but the trainers and owners will be lining up for his services because they know one thing: white hat, black hat, love him or hate him, he's a winner.
Oh, there's absolutely no doubt about the fact that he's a winner. Look at that. Isn't he relaxed? That's Doremus, the 1995 Melbourne Cup champion. Now, if he's to win today, he'd have to break all sorts of records to do it, but he's looking very relaxed about it, and he could be the horse to do it.
Amongst the usual afternoon activity at Caulfield, he's just one of the crowd. A plain, slightly awkward-looking chestnut with a baldy face. Nothing special about him, right? Wrong. Because that horse has done this.
Doremus is going to win the Melbourne Cup for Damien Oliver. Lee Friedman's third cup. Doremus wins.
Well, I've had better horses than him, but he's got a special place here because he's such a, you know, he's a great stayer and he's a great trier. He never does anything else but tries, really.
Understandably, Lee Friedman has a soft spot for Doremus, but one man is even closer to the old marble. Scotty McGee is his strapper, his track rider, his constant companion, his best buddy. You must just love him.
Yeah, I'm pretty attached to the old boy. You know, I've had a lot of fun with him. You know, run plenty of seconds.
Lately. He's like a little lamb, really.
Yeah, he's like an old goat anyway.
He'll never win a beauty contest.
No, he's a pretty plain old devil, but we love him around here. He's been part of our place now for like 5 or 6 years, so and we've just named another wing of stables after him, so he's got a special place here.
Oh, he's a gentleman. You can throw your little kid on him. He's pretty easy to ride. You know, it's pretty rare in Australian circles, I suppose, to have such a great stayer. You know, he's probably a little bit in the mould of Vintage Crop.
It's amazing to think the mighty horse hasn't won for more than 2 years, but consider the times he's beaten all bar the winner. One very famous instance amongst them.
Doremus after Might and Power and Doremus, they hit it. Oh, it's close, Doremus runs.
It's not often Greg's wrong. And unfortunately, on that day he was, you know.
He's also filled the runner-up stall in the Caulfield and Sydney Cups, and here in this year's Metropolitan Handicap. But it hasn't stopped the public adoration every time he goes to the races.
It's a big thrill, you know, to know that you're involved with a horse like that, and you know that people just love. You know, it's good for racing. Gets the crowd to the races, you know. They hang around his stall.
This year he joins an elite group tackling the great race for the 4th time, and historians will tell you that no horse has ever won the Cup 3 years apart. Perhaps Doremus might just be the one to rewrite those history books.
Obviously the standard of the imported horses here this year is extremely high, and they look to have settled in well. I think they're going to be the main danger soon, but he'll be there doing his best.
And the good thing is he doesn't know he's 8 years old.
He doesn't know he's 8-year-old, and he doesn't know who they are. So.
He's already won it once, and he's just about he went close last year. So if he does it this year, you know, he has to be one of the all-time greats.
I think he already is, mate.
Oh, to me he is.
He
never know, do you? He certainly knows the trip, Doremus, that's for sure. Now, just a reminder about our competition, the Magi Phantom Call. If you haven't already, pick up an entry form from Coles Supermarkets, one of the 23 previous Melbourne Cup winners, and you pick your one. Well, this is all you have to do. 1902 555 955. Follow the instructions, leave your name and the name of the winning horse. In fact, just follow the instructions on the phone and they'll take you through it. And you could be off to watch the Kentucky Derby, as they call it. And then on Saturday, you could be the winner. We'll play a little bit more of that call, another 800 metres of it for you later today. We'll take a short break. The Melbourne Cup of 1998 is what you're watching.
Good afternoon,
Welcome back to 10's exclusive coverage of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. Sometimes it's better to be at home on the couch watching it. A bit squashy.
Sydney Bailey, he's going to wear that camera before the week is out, for sure. And out and about on this absolutely magnificent day, one of the best days weather-wise for the Cup I can remember, is Lynn Talbot.
What I love about Cup Day here on the lawns at Flemington is elegance and sophistication, not to mention style. But unfortunately, some people leave good taste at home. And in this case, it's all the way up in Queensland. Guys, where are you from exactly?
Central Queensland, Rockhampton and Gladstone. Yeah, kick 'em. Monte, yeah.
First time to the Cup?
Yeah, it's first time. Yeah, definitely the first time.
Having a ball, no doubt, too?
Sure, can I come every year from now on?
It's a great perv down here, you got to say that.
It's good at Gold Coast, this is prime.
Now, come on, fellas, give us your tips.
I've just given it a yippee-yi-yo. It's going to Remus.
Yippee-yi-yo. Yippee-yi-yo. Yippee-yi-yo is going to go.
That's it.
Well, you can't all win, but good luck. May the best man win.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody wins on Melbourne Cup Day in some way or another. There's Dee Oliver. Played golf with him and had a great day at Huntingdale yesterday, and he's pretty confident too. Melbourne Cup is not far away. The Hayes family, their name is etched deep into racing history in our country, that is for sure. Haven't heard as much of them this spring, but you can never discount the Hayes family during Cup Week.
Hayes. It's one of the most famous names in Australian racing, but it took Peter Hayes a good few years to come to terms with it. For years, the heir apparent to the empire established by his father Colin, Peter shunned the spotlight, preferring to hand the mantle to younger brother David. Then, when the family decided to expand the empire and David moved to Hong Kong, Peter finally decided it was time to assume control of the Lindsay Park operations. Peter has put his stamp on the dynasty, twice winning the Chrysler Stakes, now known as the Emirates Stakes, with Miss Margaret and Seascape. The Hind has given him a strong profile in the lead into Cup Week, and it would seem to be his destiny, if not this year then soon, that Peter would join his father and brother on the list of Melbourne Cup winning trainers.
That sums him up, doesn't it? The quiet achiever. The Melbourne Cup of 1998. I've got a very special guest joining me. In fact, looking forward on Network 10, the FAI 1000 Classic. I can say that.
You got it right.
I got it right. November 14 and 15 at Bathurst. And Jason Bargwanna is with me. You must be looking forward to it.
Oh, I mean, Tim, it's going to be fantastic for us. The whole Bowral Incumbents team this year has been really performing well towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And testing yesterday, Bathurst is only, what, week and a half away now.
That's right.
I'm pretty excited about it.
They'll all remind you. You put it into the wall last year.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Well, I had to remind you. It's my job.
Yeah, I mean, one of those things, obviously, unfortunate. Last year, provisional pole on Friday and crash on Sunday. So
Yeah.
hopefully this year we can do one better and provisional pole again and make sure we get to the end of the race.
This is what Australian motor racing is all about, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean,
Ford versus Holden on the mountain. They just love it.
V8s at Bathurst. I mean, what
Yeah.
more can you want, really?
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. Obviously, the atmosphere. I mean, today the atmosphere here is just fantastic.
Electric,
but
isn't it? Yeah.
you go to Bathurst and it's the same sort of thing. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think obviously we've got a good package now, and we'll see if we can do the job.
And the car's going well?
Yeah, I mean, testing yesterday, as I say, up at Winton, and we've made some changes to some shocks and bits and
Yeah.
pieces, and the car's really on the pace now. So Jimmy's a good co-driver, obviously. So, yeah,
yep.
Good.
November 14 and 15 on Network 10, of course, the FAI 1000 Classic. How much do you know about this horse racing business? Quickly, what do you like in the Melbourne Cup?
I feel sorry for the jockeys because these guys only got 1 horsepower to play with. At least they've got 600.
That's true. You got a tip?
So, Persian Punch looks good. That's what I think.
All right, good on you. All the best on the weekend of the big one. Jason Bargwanna, one of the very, very talented young drivers. Peter Donegan, we're about an hour away and you're closer to the action than I am, but when I was down there, the atmosphere on this racetrack today is absolutely charged with all sorts of things, but I think emotion's one of the most important, and there is, Pete, that magnificent crowd as they come down to you to look at them for the Great Western.
And the atmosphere is building all the time too, Tim, and this is the time now where I reckon it starts to build, Jen, where the horses come into the mounting yard for race 7 and the crowd just gets bigger around the mounting yard and everyone knows the cup's just around the corner.
Well, everyone wants to get a good spot so that they don't miss a thing, and that's exactly what they're doing here. But they're all having a great time and they're getting a little bit louder too, Pete.
They are getting louder, and they'll get plenty loud, those of them who have backed Marigo if it wins here, to be ridden by Brian York, trained by Alan Denham. And the one thing that worried me, she dragged the strapper around the mounting yard when she first came in. She was on her toes.
Yeah, she's a little bit highly strung, that's for sure, Peter. And the thing that worried me was she was starting to sweat up a bit too. Now, she's got loads of potential and ability. I think coming back to the 1400 will suit her, but whether or not she'll boils over before she gets to the barriers might be a problem.
3 visual displays. Basil Marcus rides for Peter Hayes.
Drawn barrier 14 here. The tongue tie the first time going on visual displays. I think she'll probably have to work a little bit from barrier 14 and could run on towards the end, maybe a place chance.
Jimmy Cassidy rides co-ed number 4 for Bruce McLaughlin.
Well, co-ed is well drawn in this race in barrier 4, and Jimmy Cassidy is on fire. He's riding with a load of confidence here and drawn to get a nice run, so definitely a chance.
Northwood Lady looked good winning at Caulfield. Finished off her race in great style. Damien Oliver has the sit for Lee Friedman.
Yes, they went very hard on that occasion at Caulfield, and she got back and ran on very well there. The 1400 metres should suit her, and she's racing well.
Number 6 is Beauty Bell. Christian Reith the rider, Steve Engelbrecht the trainer.
A very small little horse, this one. I thought given every chance there at Randwick, going fresh into this race, honest enough, but it's a little bit tougher here.
Number 7, Dakara Jen, ridden by Lenny Beasley in the saintly colours. Bart Cummings trains.
Yes, I've seen a few of her runs in Sydney, and she's a horse that really does look like she's screaming out for a bit of ground. Well, she steps up that extra 200 metres here today, nicely weighted and possibly a place chance. 8, My Sweet Pamela showed signs of getting up on her toes, and she's got the clerk of the course, Subby, with her. Going over to the barrier, she has eased out 30 cents. Well, she settled down last at her last start and pushed her way through and battled on strongly towards the line, and she's kept on improving, so I think she comes in with a nice chance in this.
And Margarine, let's hope it doesn't spread a plate on the way to the barrier.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, she's a horse that keeps on improving. She didn't have a great deal of luck at all at Caulfield last start. Badly drawn, so she's got to overcome that problem, and if she does, she's there with an each-way chance.
Let's have the tote run through from Dan Malicki as they go to the gates for the Great Western.
Well, Marigo is in double figures on the tote at better than $10. 15 visual displays, co-ed $5.80. The support certainly with Northwood Lady at $2.70. Big odds for the Sydney filly Beauty Bell. Daikara also hails up north, $12. $7.90 My Sweet Pamela. And then Margarine, number 10, a little easy, but at $9.80 is best of the runners on that particular page. If you like outsiders, you can get better than $218 for number 15, which is Seder. Northwood Lady, the prefix is very popular, the colours are very popular, so is the trainer and so is the jockey, Tim Cossage. What about the punters with this filly?
Might have been going for a bet. We'll see if we can come back to Tim. He'll be down there in the bookmakers ring, but they are going to the stalls for the Great Western, a listed race, 1400 metres. Marty's Magic number 1 is the scratching, and we've got a field of 14 to face the starter, and the rider for number 14, Min Min Lights, is Jay Patton. There is the map. They start at the 1400, and as we've already expressed several times throughout this telecast, it is crucial to draw a barrier or to have a position early on in 1400 metre races. Our Cadbury favourite sees Marigo for Jen and myself, co-ed for Johnny and Dan, and Northwood Lady for Richard and Gary. We'll take a break and be back with the traditional leader to the Foster's Melbourne Cup, the Great Western. Hope you're enjoying a drop at home as you watch us here on Network 10. Bit of activity in the gates here, and a couple of the riders calling for assistance. One or two of these getting very edgy, and this is a dicey situation here when horses start getting upset, and you can see them kicking out the back of the gates here, and that looks to be Beauty Bell, which has become upset in the gates. Roy Higgins, you've been in this situation before. It is frightening.
It is, Pete. There's not a lot of room to move in there, and when a horse starts to panic, they go claustrophobic, and you're not really sure which way they're going to go with you. And he's done the wise thing. He's got off now, and you see now the horse has relaxed a bit better. However, before they jump here, I'm going with the favourite here in number 5, Northwood Lady. Gee, she's a lovely filly, this by Bluebird. She's on the way up. She'll graduate to better class than this. Marked on top of number 2, Marigo. I think this is the filly that'll be strong at the end of the 1400. Certainly 8, which is My Sweet Pamela, and 10, Margarine, which is the stable mate of the family, of the favourite. It also looked in excellent shape. I marked them 5, 2, 8 and 10. Pete?
The thoughts of Roy Higgins prior to the start of the Great Western. Let's run through the totes as they stand at the moment. Marigo has come in to $9.40, trimmed up quite a bit. Visual Displays 14. While we watch that and what the tote punters have made of it, let's find out what the bookies are doing minutes before the start. Tim Gossage.
Peter, no money for Margarine, but they've butted up to the stablemate, Northwood Lady, and there's also been good date money for Co-Ed, but a lot of big phone bets for Northwood Lady.
That is correct, yes. Okay, they're just about set for the running of race 7 on the card, and let's hope these horses remain quite content and calm in the stalls. The 3-year-old fillies, keeping an eye on them. Up in the commentary box, high above this monstrous crowd, is Dan Malicki. But let's get the last-minute thoughts of Gary Willits. Just before we come to you, Gary, there is going to be a late scratching here by the look of it, because we have the warning siren sounding. So it looks as though this horse, Beauty Bell, may come out. And we'll just get the official announcement. There she is. So it will be Beauty Bell, number 6, by the look of it, coming out.
Number 6, Beauty Bell, taken out at 2:26 on Vet's advice.
2:26 Vet's advice, the official scratching time for Beauty Bell, number 6. Gary, what did you make of the appearance of the rest of them?
Well, they look pretty good. I agree with Roy. I thought Northwood Lady looked very well. She's drawn out an 11, but I don't think it'll bother her, because she does get back. I thought she'd be back, running about 6th or 7th in the run. And I don't think drawing out will make a lot of difference to her. Marigo's out there with her also. It's drawn 12. And Co-Ed was the other one I thought looked very good. But I think the last one's going in now, so just about ready, Dan.
Emotional Success goes in. Late scratching Beauty Bell at the barrier. Fillies are locked away, although there's a problem with one of the runners.
Hang on.
The jockey's yelling out, hang on, waiting for assistance from an attendant. All clear now given. More trouble. Gates crash back, away they go. Daikara missed it by a length. Fantasia Miss a little bit slow to go with Visual Displays. Co-Ed jumped away pretty well, and it's trying to lead in the early part of the race. From Emotional Success, Min Min Light's just behind them, and Sadur's pushing through on the rails. 2 trail at stablemate. Up to about 5th position was Northwood Lady. Marigo's 3 deep at the moment. Margarine was able to work up to 2nd. Emotional Success leads Margarine. Now 3 wide Marigo, 4th the inside Co-Ed, 1 off the fence Min Min Lights. Fantasia misses, trapped 3 deep, and then Northwood Lady. Grammy Award wide, midfield on the inside Saydur, and then My Sweet Pamela. Rasbridia, Daikara and Visual Displays. 600 to go, and it's Emotional Success in front. Marigo 2nd. Co-Ed's had a nice run 3rd inside Margarine. Fantasia misses out 3 deep. Then came Northwood Lady in the middle of the pack. Grammy Award was wide around it. Min Min Lights under pressure. Saydur along the inside. Into the straight they head, and Marigo joins Emotional Success. Margarine going up to them. Co-Ed in need of a run. And then came Fantasia Miss. My Sweet Pamela running on. Marigo the leader from Margarine. Co-Ed trying to get out. My Sweet Pamela swoops on the scene. Margarine hit the lead. My Sweet Pamela after it. Daikara, Visual Displays from last. Margarine, My Sweet Pamela and Visual Displays. Visual Displays over the top of Margarine and My Sweet Pamela, and Visual Displays draws clear. Visual Displays has won it from My Sweet Pamela and Margarine. Then came Rasbridia, Daikara, Northwood Lady and Grammy Award. Next in Co-Ed from Marigo. Then Fantasia Miss and Saydur, Min Min Lights and Emotional Success knocked up to run last.
Well, a great ride to Basil Marcus. I think his first winner at Flemington. And it was really interesting to see the contrast in riding styles between those boys. But if you back Northwood Lady, I think she might have had a problem, because 600 from home, I noticed Damien give her a crack with the whip, which she didn't. He doesn't race like that. But here they come now. Basil Marcus, she's well back here, arrowed there. He's last. And you see how they really pick the horses up. He still can't get into the clear here. Still angling for a run. Now he gets her out into the clear here. About 300 metres to go here. She's still last. Really rides her. He's got the stick in the right hand here. You see what great horsemen some of these boys are. Just feeling for the whip here. He's given her a crack with the stick here. Puts it away again. Another crack there. He's picked her up. But she must start to drift in a little bit here. But I just noticed how quick he is. Now he switched the stick over to the left hand without missing a beat. There you go. So, very good.
Basil Marcus, the winning jockey on the race before the Melbourne Cup. Yep. And, of course, he partners one of the chances at a bit of value in the Melbourne Cup in the Hind.
She would have switched, shifted in about 4 or 5 horses, you can see here. Now, here he is arrowed. Now, he'd be, I'd say, 10 horses out here, and I'd say at the finish, I haven't seen her head on yet, but he'd get into about 3 horses off the fence.
OK, let's join John Letts. He'll have a chat to Basil Marcus.
Basil Marcus. Basil, this is your first winner at Flemington? No, Jones. I had a winner when I came out last in the winter, but first carnival winner.
What about winning a race on Melbourne Cup Day?
Oh, that's just the greatest feeling.
And Visual Display's a terrific show of horsemanship. You're back last and you weaved your way through and then got the run at the right time.
Yeah, she was drawn wide, so I took her back. She's always travelling good and finished the race off really well. Exploded at the finish.
And you've got 100,000 people watching you in the next on the Hind.
Yeah, isn't that exciting?
It is exciting, and David Hayes is to be congratulated bringing you over. He's got a lot of faith in you as a jockey.
Oh, well, I'm just so grateful to be here.
Good luck in the next, Basil.
Thanks very much, Jan. Thank you.
John Letts speaking to the winning jockey, Basil Marcus. Here is the winning trainer, Peter Hayes. That was some run.
Yeah, tremendous run, wasn't it? She's been very unlucky, this little mare. She deserved this. We were a bit concerned when we drew 14 today, so we just decided to go back and take our chances, and she was superb.
Did you think she would get that far off the lead? Because they did go lickety-split early.
We knew that she'd have to come back to near last to get in, because obviously from barrier 14 he had no option. She hasn't got early speed, so we had to come back. But she got galloped on at Moonee Valley and had no luck at all at Moonee Valley, and she had no luck at all at Caulfield. She should have beat Danelaar in the first 7 furlong race she ran in at Crawford early so she's just been a really unlucky little mare, and we were starting to wonder whether we could win one with her. And when she came into the turn last today, I thought, oh, well, here we go, unlucky again. But she was too good. She was
maybe the start of a successful partnership between Peter Hayes and Basil Marcus in about an hour's time.
It was nice to have that one up, yeah, exactly.
Good luck in the Cup, Pete.
Thank you.
Peter Hayes, who'll train the Hind in the Melbourne Cup, but trains Visual Display for a brilliant victory here in Race 7, the Great Western. So the preliminaries are now completed. The way is paved for the running of the great race as Basil Marcus strides to the line aboard Visual Displays. We'll take a break from Flemington on Foster's Melbourne Cup Day, 1998.
Friday. There's the weigh-in. Altogether necessary, of course, at any race meeting. And this, of course, is the race meeting of Australia, one of the best, one of the greatest in the world. The Foster's Melbourne Cup of 1998. Wait will be right, there is a late scratching in that race, and there is part of the immense crowd here. Be fascinated to see how many it is, but fair dinkum, walking around out there, you can't tiptoe between any blades of grass. A little patch of green there, but plenty of green in there. And a good win for Visual Displays. Here's the dips from Danny.
Tim, 14.20 and $4 even for number 3. 8 second at $2.20 the place, and number 10, $2.80. Quinella, 57.90. The trifecta, $981.30 in the race-to-race double, $125.80 on 3, 8 and 10.
Thank you, Danny. Aerosmith rocks Flemington. Well, we'll find out in just under 40